menstrual cycles have been shifting and changing, and social media has jumped on this, and I'm finding it really interesting because there's this assumption, which is true, that, oh my goodness, something is happening, something is changing, something is shifting, and what is this magic, what is this strangeness that is happening in the world? And it doesn't surprise me one bit, because the whole point of our work, the whole point of female shamanism, the whole point of the cycles, the reminder that we are, these female bodies are cyclical, is not solo, it's not by itself, it's not you and your cycle. And it's not even just you and the women around you, you know, how your cycles sync up together. It's not even just that. You are, this is such a good example. So if I say first, there has been talk that women's menstrual cycles have been changing over the last 2 months, and that people have been sharing their stories. And when I shared my story in Circle a few weeks ago, a number of other women went, oh gosh, me too, that our cycles, the women that I was talking to, our cycles shortened dramatically over the last 2 months. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then people started talking on social media about how women's cycles have been shifting over the last 2 months. This doesn't surprise me one bit, because you are not just solo. Your cycle, your body is the earth. So as the earth is changing, as the world is changing, your cycle is going to change. It's going to illustrate something. And it's not only illustrating something, it's not just a story. It is a literal, physical example, embodiment of how other things are changing. So where the world is changing, and we can talk about this physically, the world is changing through the Schumann resonance, the literal, measurable resonance of the earth has changed. And nature has changed. We are right in the middle of, right at the beginning of this huge ecological shift in the world because of climate change, because of what we've done to the earth, because of what we've done to female bodies, because of the shame that we hold. And as cycles shift and change, our bodies shift and change. It does not surprise me one bit. The science links up to it. I watched something yesterday that said, oh, it proves it's not real, it's just science. It's all real. The science shows us it's real. So in the UK here, we've been having one of the hottest summers we've ever had. And the last 2 months, it's got super hot. So the heat affects our menstrual cycle. The heat affects our hormones. We are all connected. It's not just with the moon that we are connected. We are connected to the earth. We're connected to the light. We're connected to the change of light. We're connected to the heat. And our bodies are literally a part of that. It's not even just that we are responding to it. We are a part of it. So where things are changing, we change. And I really want to remind us, let this moment be deeply embodied for us all, that where the menstrual cycle and the earth, its ecology, and these huge shifts and changes that the world is going through, we are all changing at the same time. And with that is a reminder that Inanna the goddess, you know, is in all ways. So yes, she is in spirit, she is energetic, but also she is deeply embodied. And her stories are your stories. She is an example, a story of descent and rising. And even if we weren't going through this huge shift and huge change in the world, in culture, in politics, in ecology, in environment, everything, even if we weren't, you are still a cyclical being. Earlier I went to sort of speak it through with myself, my own patterns right now, and this reminded, what I went to do was I went to go, oh look, there's ups and there's downs, there's ups and And even that is an example of me thinking, as I have been trained, as we've all been trained, that we are linear. It's like we're going somewhere in this wave. It's not. We're going in cycles and circles. Inanna reminds us that everything is in a circle. So where we are going down, 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 Inanna reminds us that she went down so deep that everything was taken from her. That every bit of power, every bit of ego, every bit of her looks, every bit of everything that the outer world sees as something was taken from her as she chose to descend into the underworld. She descended into the underworld and she was hung on a meat hook. One of the words that I've been using for my own story over the last few months has been brutal. And is anything more brutal than the idea of being hung on a meat hook to die after being stripped of everything? And this isn't fear. Think about all the stories of your life, all the things that are dying and ending, all the things that you've struggled with, all the things that you've collapsed from, all of the breakdowns/breakthroughs. It's a reminder that a breakdown is not an ending as a linear way of thinking would suggest it. A breakdown is a breakthrough because we have to go down to rise again. You are not going to renew. The world is not going to renew unless we allow things to end. When you allow things to end as deeply and thoroughly with as much trust and surrender as possible, while holding your riverbanks, the river will flow. You empty out of all of the old stories, even the ones you thought were good, were helpful. They were once. Are they now? And are they as we go forward into the future? This renewal is going to be bigger and more beautiful the deeper that you have been descending.